Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome on behalf of EUphoria, a TTRPG community that is here to uplift creatives in Europe, UK, and those outside the US. We are here for a very special charity event, the Rolling Seaward event, and we are here to support medicine for Palestinians, medical aid for Palestine, a very important, crucial charity organization that is working to support some people that are really needing our help for political reasons, for support. I'm just going to read the blurb that they have on the Tiltify, which you will see above our stream. Anything you can provide to support this great cause is greatly appreciated. Medical Aid for Palestine has been working for the health and dignity of Palestinians living under occupation and as refugees for nearly 40 years. From their regional offices in Palestinian cities of Ramallah, East Jerusalem, and Gaza City in occupied Palestine, and Beirut in Lebanon, MAP works with local healthcare partners to address a variety of healthcare issues, including primary healthcare, maternal and child health, psychosocial support, disability, emergency response. In times of humanitarian crisis, they are ready to respond quickly with aid and assistance. MAP also works to highlight the injustices caused by occupation, displacement, and conflict. They speak out internationally against barriers to health and dignity for Palestine. Please, anything you can give to support this great cause is greatly appreciated. Shouting out the rest of this wonderful charity event this weekend, all the other participants, sharing this with other people who may have more financial resources than you are all valid ways of contributing. Thank you very much. My name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latina woman of color. I have tan skin, dark eyes, dark hair, and I'm wearing a white t shirt. I have some friends with me, and I'd like them to introduce themselves. So, going in my overlay, Mel, can you introduce yourself, please, and describe
Hi.
yourself a bit?
Yes. Hi, my name is Melisa and I go by Mel. I am born in the Caribbean, living in the Netherlands, and I am brown skinned, very much beautiful curly hair and brown eyes, and ready to play.
Ready to play. Great. Thank you. Other friend, who you?
Other friend.
Hey, my name's Khalil Thirlaway. I am a mixed Arab white man with short hair and stubble. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to creating this world together. I've never played this game before, but it sounds amazing.
Yes. And to illuminate to everyone else what it is we're playing, we're going to play a game of The Quiet Year. It is a game by Avery Alder, and it is a collaborative story building drawing game. In this game, we are going to draw out the happenings of a community at the end of a civilization, sort of the last bit of civilization left. And we're going to draw out and narrate what happens to them over the course of a single calendar year. The players at the table know that at the end of that calendar year, the curtain will fall on this community. How that curtain falls is not relevant. How we got to this point, what happened before, is also not relevant. It is a time of coming together, rediscovery, facing some challenges, and there might be some conflict, but we're the ones who get to dictate how our community responds to it creatively, imaginatively, how we do that mood wise, whether we follow laws of science and physics in this world. Who knows? I know some friends here might have opinions about that.
Indeed.
Uh, I will also say for our audience, we have discussed our lines and veils beforehand. We have done our session 0 with safety tools. We are aware of certain topics we're going to avoid, and we're going to be regularly checking in with each other about things. So you might hear discussion pertaining to that. It's difficult to provide content warnings for the audience right now because this story is literally the blank canvas you see before you. But there are certain things we're just going to avoid entirely. Uh, we're going to illuminate what we can there. So, That being said, I'm going to start the game and I'm going to explain in detail how the rules go for our players here. And to remind myself, it's been a hot minute since I played this here. This game always begins with a prompt. I will read the prompt out, and this is the only lore that the entire game provides. The introductory paragraph goes: For a long time, we were at war with the jackals. Now, finally, we've driven them off, and we're left with this: a year of relative peace. One quiet year with which to build our community up and learn again how to work together. Come winter, the frost shepherds will arrive, and we might not survive the encounter. This is when the game will end. But we don't know about that yet. What we know is that right now, in this moment, there is an opportunity to build something. We are thus a community of 50 to 70 ish people, people of all genders, all ages, all sorts of representation. The game doesn't even determine they have to be human or humanoid. But that is the size of our community. And we, as far as we know, we're it. And we have come across this new space, this land, this area. And the three of us are now going to decide what that area is. So, Mel and Khalil, geographically, where is our new community going to establish themselves?
How about a toy store?
So, civilization has
Fun.
ended, and we are going to. A toy store is the last
Yes, so
bastion.
it's the last building. I don't know how old both of you are, but in age, but let me age myself. Do you ever remember the toy store toys for us? I that flashed in my head. It's a big store. There's a big area. There's places that could separate. So because of the aisles, there's you can make rooms, areas people to sleep.
Oh, so it's
Uh,
like a converted toy store.
yeah,
So it used to be a toy store, but
yeah,
now it's become this community hub.
yes,
Is there, so could we imagine like a barren field, but the primary space of play is
yeah.
the
It's this,
toy
yeah,
store?
yeah. That's what's left. Like so, this I would imagine because a lot of stuff has crumbled on the sides, but there's like a barren open area, and the store and the shelves as the blocks for the people's rooms and privacies, or the yeah, I will say people right now, but we will figure out what they are later.
Okay,
Are spacing. So yeah, I was thinking something like that.
interesting.
Yes.
Okay, can because I played this game before,
Mhm.
may I make a building suggestion off of that?
Yes.
A suggestion to build off of that. What if this store, this formerly Toys R Us toy store, is like mega IKEA
Yeah,
size?
yeah. That's
To the point where that there are even unexplored
it.
areas that our community
Yes.
does not venture to yet.
Think of it as the a mall size. Yes.
Okay.
This is a big Toys R Us, like all day Christmas type of.
And so I guess we start by setting up like a small
Yes,
group
like
in
yeah,
one
let's
little
say
area
in
of
the
it.
because it's I would
Okay.
think comfortable in the area where the plushies were.
Are is the toy store stocked?
Uh, it's still there's still some toys, I would think, like some little trinkets, some stuff that survived, some things that were in boxes. You know.
Okay. Okay. Because we're suggesting a toy store the size of a mall,
Mhm.
I think it would be safe and it's also very convenient that the rectangle canvas is just the
Yeah, that's the
rectangle
of the
building.
mall. Yes.
Perfect. And that's very easy to draw. Boom, there it is.
There it is. Yes.
There it is.
Whoop,
Very
and
convenient. Okay. Um, and we are in our community is in the plush subsection,
mhm.
which could be the space of half a city, a quarter city block, 70 people,
Yes.
50 people. We can say our community is even smaller than that if it makes it interesting.
Yes. You say we're a community of what? 30 people? 30?
We can do
Like a
that.
small, it's a small set up community, and that's how they didn't explore a lot
Hmm.
because
Okay.
it's they try to
Yeah,
stay
because
stay together. Yeah.
yeah, and like the amount of the population that is required to kind of meet the basic needs of the group is a significant portion, and so that yeah, there hasn't been a lot of free time to go and explore
Yes.
yet.
Yet. Okay. Okay. So just to get the ball rolling, I'm going to draw in this subsection here my great artistic capacity. I can't even draw straight lines. These
Oh
are the
dear.
plush aisles.
Yes. Oh.
Behold. And this is where here is a panda
Mm-hmm.
plush
Just just some ears and yep, that
to represent that this is the plushy area. And here is, there's a plushy heart. Let me get some red or some burgundy. Okay. In that case, specifically, Mel, give me one detail about the place where our community is living in. One additional descriptive detail about this community.
descriptive.
Tell me,
It's
tell me about the toy section we live in.
it's they chose that section because it's comfy. There is a lot of soft stuff to lay on. It's the plushies give warmth.
Can you
Uh,
draw that for me, please?
yes. Let's see if I can get my artistic skills running here.
So Mel's
Uh,
contribution is more plushies, and I'm like, perfect.
more plushies. Square, square.
And in the meantime, Khalil, the same question will go to you. What is one other feature that you are now making canon in this toy subsection place that our community lives in?
That the shelves go up really really high,
Oh,
and so there are some rarer plushies that are on the very high shelves that are quite hard to get.
could you draw a representation of height?
Mm-hmm. I'll try and get some perspective on this.
Yeah, yeah. So this is how our world, our universe is going to start. And at the end of the game, there's going to be some very funky art that only makes sense to those who have watched this story. Oh, so it's like I'm imagining those kind of ladders on wheels that like Beauty and
Ah,
the Beast kind of.
yes,
And people
yes.
can
Yes.
Well,
actually
weather.
sleep on shelves like apartment stacks. Oh, that's interesting.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
that is a really good idea for adding that perspective. It's defensible because we're all compact. We can
Yeah.
hear each other and there's still privacy. That's a good place to set up our community of 40-ish people, 30-ish people, we said.
Trying to draw a straight line with a mouse
I
is
can't
a
Oh,
say.
fun
that
little
is
challenge. Oh,
that's
No,
asking for a lot.
but that's also the joy of this funky kind of
oh
idea
yeah,
about it.
straight lines are overrated.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
rated.
Okay,
All right. Got
now
some plushies, some
beautiful.
fillers.
Okay, now I'd like us to declare some resources. Uh, I'd like us to declare each one resource that is something that could be an abundance or scarcity. Things like, are we abundant in drinking water? Are we abundant in plushies? Are we abundant? Are we missing food? Are we missing entertainment? Are we missing fresh food?
I would say that we're probably abundant in clothing because
Hmm.
we can always just empty out a plushie and a larger plushie and kind of wear it. So you could some people might wear like the body of a giant teddy bear and arms as like a top.
Onesies,
I
yes.
love that.
Yeah,
Fluffy
or
onesies.
onesies or like tops or
Yes,
like
or
just
bottoms. Yeah,
bottoms.
the bottoms of the stuff. They
Yeah.
can just sew some parts together.
Like imagine all the cool little hats you could have for all the different
Mhm.
animals.
Okay, that's adorable. Mel, what would be a potential resource or a potential resource that we have or don't have?
I would say we have, because there's a store in there. We have at least places to use the restroom. So
Hmm.
there's like a restroom area, and because it's so big, like IKEA, like like a mall, every department has their own canteen area, and now we use that as a place to put our resources. So there's like something to preserve uh the stuff we make or gather.
Yeah, because back when this was a functioning toy megastore, it was so big that you couldn't have a hungry customer have to walk all the way from plushies into the train section to get food or to go to the toilet, because then they're moving away from the thing that they want to buy. And so,
Exactly.
you want to keep people in their interest area.
Brilliant. And I will add a resource that I will probably declare is a scarcity. I will say there is a dearth of fresh food. I will say that there are vending machines here.
And
There
canned
are
stuff, most likely,
it's
because
it's it's
it's
it's
very much
all
packed.
crisps.
Yeah.
It's all candy bars that never expire.
Yeah.
We're good at food, but fresh food would be nice. Now we mentioned three things:
Hmm.
clothing,
Hmm.
restrooms, and
Hmm.
fresh food,
Hmm.
or this kind of food.
Missing of fresh food, yes.
One of these things should be in abundance, and two of those things should be in scarcity to make
Mm.
it interesting.
Okay.
Now, I already sort of suggested that fresh food should be a scarcity.
Scarcity, yes.
Now, between clothing and restroom access, I have a feeling we might want to lean in as responsible storytellers that clothing is somehow a scarcity. Maybe these polyester things are really uncomfortable, and the good stuff is always in high. The good, nice satiny cotton based plushies are in demand, and everyone just gets the scratchy underbelly things.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're not very breathable.
No.
No,
No, but
so
that's because there's so much you can they have to learn to like remake them, because not there's a lot of plushies, but not a lot of big plushies,
Yeah.
right? So it takes time to open them, sew them loose.
we
So
might
yeah,
not have a
Yeah,
tailor.
there's loads and loads and loads of clothes for small children because that's about the size of like a medium-ish big plushie. But adult clothes, maybe maybe they're more scarce because
yeah,
like
Okay,
there's fewer big plushies.
all
yeah.
right.
There's like you said, there's no tailor to tailor stuff. Everyone
Yeah,
hand sews.
and like Aida said,
Yeah,
they're made of like polyester and weird like fake furs and stuff.
I mean, like burlap is, of course, the clothes. It could be clothes, but could it really? Yes, it could be,
yeah.
but are we
But
happy
are
about
we?
this?
Yeah, are our skin happy
It's like
about
when you
it?
buy something online and like it arrives and you're like, oh, it looks almost as good as it did online, and then you put it on and it's like, this is the worst material ever. I feel taken
Indeed.
advantage of.
Let's draw these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, clothing,
Cool.
restroom, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to draw a vending machine.
All right. Khalid, where are you going for?
I'm gonna do clothing. I've
All
got an
right. I'm
idea.
gonna do a box with a restroom. Let's see. So those are the two shelvings. I would
I'm
think
just going
of.
to say at the end of our aisle
Yes.
is a funny little vending machine.
Uh,
And
Let's see.
I'm going to
The
zoom in for
corners.
myself.
The corners is where the restroom areas are. Then
The box with the coils, because I always imagine vending machines to have those little coils.
yes, those little indeed.
At all times of the year, hear just people just like bamming, bang, bang, bang to get the food out. Because
Forever.
okay,
There's some. Uh,
remember, friends, you
panel.
can zoom in with your mouse and you can press home to reset the view. I'm going to be zooming in a lot.
Let's see. And yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to remind ourselves that restrooms,
Yes. And
abundance,
mhm. So yes, abundance of restrooms,
and
abundance of
clothing and
clothing.
fresh food are scarcities. This is just something to help us kind of imagine what kind of challenges our community is going to have.
I feel like I like I liked my idea, but now I feel like it's going to be really unsettling to look at.
That's going
if
to be our
anyone's
whole art the whole time.
if anyone's played Five Nights at Freddy's, I think it's kind of giving a little bit of that.
It's really clever to have used the shape tool. I'm just going to use the thing as like a MS Paint. Okay. All right. Again, these are representations. Don't beat yourself up about it not being like perfectly understandable. Later on, an X could represent something or another. We're okay. All right. I'm going to then have us move on. So
Yeah.
at this point, we're going to narrate weeks. I'm using finger quotes because this is going to be a loose amount of time per season. And we are each going to determine what happens based on prompts. Each season is linked to prompts of a suit of playing cards. So we're going to start with spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I have the cards here. I'm going to shuffle them and I'm going to pull out, and we're going to determine each of us. Uh, I'm going to pull a card out, and the person's turn is going to follow a prompt. Once they have finished with that prompt, they have one choice of three things. And I put this on the top left corner, Melissa, if you're also listening here.
Yes, I'm listening.
Discover something new,
Mm-hmm.
hold a discussion, or start a project. So after you finish with a prompt on the card, you must decide to either discover something new. That's
Yes.
exactly what it means. You declare canonically that you have discovered something new anywhere. The fact that um, the fact that the candy bars go out marching at night in neat rows. I don't know.
Yes.
And then you must draw it.
Uh-huh.
Or you must hold a discussion, or you must prompt us to hold a discussion. Hold a
Yes.
discussion means that we are going to role play certain opinions within the community, but we are going to give statements. We're going to keep them to max 2 sentences. Let's say that on my turn, I want to hold a discussion about color coordinating our clothing. And that is going to be the topic of the discussion. As of my turn, I get to dictate that. Now we're going to role play the discussion by saying, I am going to represent the tailors of this community, the people who have self-volunteered to actually make the clothes. Melissa is then going to say, I'm going to represent the young people of the community. And then Khalil can say, I'm going to represent the nudists of the community. And then I'm going to say, okay, as the tailors, I don't think it's it is inefficient and a poor use of time to color coordinate. We are a community, but we are diverse, and we should we should maintain our own individuality. Done. That is the opinion. It is not an actionable thing. It's merely a sentence of intent. Then Melissa gives her max 2 sentences, and then Khalil gives it 2 sentences. We are not actively
Debating, I think.
debating or
Yeah.
talking to each other. We are airing those things as if what people would say here.
Yes.
So that's hold a discussion. Nothing has to actually happen out of it, but it does create lore.
It's
and
getting
let's
a
create.
snapshot of people's opinions in the
Mm,
community at
yeah.
a time.
Okay. All
It
right.
might
Right.
create conflict, might create other things to
Hmm.
jump off. It's cool. Or your third option is to start a project. If it was my turn and I get to say, I want to start a project, I want to start a project on making a mecha sized plush. I want to put as many plushes as I can, and I want to make like a rideable one. That is my right to declare such. And then I would say, okay, Melissa and Khalil, how many weeks would this probably take? How many turns could this take? Uh, could this take 2 turns, 2 weeks, three?
Mm.
The minimum is one, the maximum is six. But we get to decide what's the feasibility of that. That seems to me like at least a 2 week project, maybe three.
I think it depends if we have access to some of the more mechanical toys in some of the other
Yeah.
aisles as
I
well.
would say if we have access to finding a way to, like you said, the aisles of the mechanical stuff or the connect stuff, the Lego type stuff.
It would have to be at this point in time in the game.
Hmm. Yes.
In which case, maybe we'd have to add a week on for that,
For
like
the
budget a week for
search.
that kind of
Yeah.
reconnaissance.
Cool.
Yes.
So when we're in agreement with that, I will draw it out and I will write a number 4 on the
Hmm.
on our canvas. And every week we go down, every turn, that number will progress. When
Mm.
that number is 0, the project has succeeded. It exists. There can be things within the game that complicate the result or even cancel that project. But we don't know.
All right. Cool.
So every turn, you do what a prompt says and you pick one of the three things.
Mhm.
We're likely going to have 2 turns per season based on the timing of our playtime. If not, we'll see. And we're just going to make it work. So, are we ready to play? Or any other concerns or
Hmm.
questions?
Nope.
No, I'm really excited by the start that we've got. I'm really interested to see where this goes.
Hmm.
That little beautiful little Teddy
Yeah,
standing
that
thing.
Teddy guy is kind of either a dream or a nightmare. It's hard to tell.
I love it. All right. So, we are now in the season of spring. We know it's spring because beyond the walls of this mega toy mall, we do hear, I don't know if we might hear birds, but we definitely notice warm winds coming in. We definitely notice those who do hang near the windows might be sneezing. Maybe there's people who suffer from pollen allergies, but that's how we know it's spring. So I'm going to shuffle the deck and I'm going to cut. I'm going to draw a card. I pulled the 5 of Hearts and I'm going to read one of 2 prompts that I will start with. So, to give an example, so I get to choose one of 2 prompts. First prompt: there is a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? Or, alarming weather patterns destroy something. How and what? Now, the fact that we are sort of an indoor location, and because I got sold at disquieting legend, I'm going to pick that prompt. So the prompt I am
Yes.
choosing is: there is a disquieting legend about this place. What is it? I get to decide what that legend is. Um, Legend has it that when you wear clothing made from a stuffed animal, you start sleep talking in a different voice.
Ooh.
I get to draw this somehow. Why did I do this to
And
us?
is that legend true?
It's a
It's a
legend.
legend.
Guess we'll find out.
We might, maybe, maybe not. You never know.
Oh man.
Sleep with
What
one ear open.
what is true as well?
So I'm going to draw a dream cloud coming from the
Nice.
stacks. And I'm going to just represent this sort of sound. It looks like a Wi Fi, but it's a voice. Okay, bear with me there.
I see the vision. I see the vision.
Hmm. So that was my prompt. And now I get to decide this whole discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. I would like to start a project. Um, I would like to. Hmm. Man, oh man, I'm going to go quick about this because I want to stay here too forever. My project will be to these bathrooms these that we have this have good generous access to the bathrooms. Could we make a river if the water is infinite? Could we this is the my result of living in the Netherlands. Could we polder?
Oh yes, yes. So like polder, so it's like they have a place to like have a swim or a thing, or
Yeah,
polder even just to have access to more water.
to
I was thinking
swim.
polder to swim sounds a lot of fun. Like
i i
We could make like a water feature, like a kind of like a rock garden or something with a
i am
stream going through it.
I
yeah.
would like to start a project to sort of slowly create a river that will slowly extend maybe to the reaches of this building we haven't explored yet.
Mhm.
I
Ooh.
think that will take the max 6 weeks of work
That
though.
will take.
Yes.
That also means that we need to do some type of discovering, as in going out further than the canteen.
So
And
yeah.
this river could take us places, but also
Exactly.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to draw
Mm,
from one of the doors
yes.
uh, the schematics for a potential river. And I'm going to write the number 6 next to it to symbolize this is going to take at least 6 weeks to fruition. And that is my full turn. So one prompt and a choice of those three things.
Mm,
So I'm just going to go down the overlay and it'll be Mel, your turn. I'm going to shuffle the deck.
yes.
I don't know what's there. And you got the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts prompt is Mel. You get to answer.
Mhm.
Prompt 1. What group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common? I'll repeat. The first prompt. What group has the highest status in the community? What must people do to gain inclusion in this group? Or are there distinct family units in the community? If so, what family structures are common?
Yes. I would go with the distinct family structures.
Yeah.
And I think the structures go by the skill sets you have.
Hmm.
So some people can build. So the builders, doesn't matter whom, they become family. You move in together, you
Oh.
think together, you construct, you come up with stuff as a stuff like that. We
Cool.
have the let me say the sewists.
Hmm.
They help put the stuff together for the clothing, the sheets, the whatever we need to warm up, dress, decorate with help. So everyone who has a certain skill set or volunteers to learn their skill set, because sometimes you just don't have one until you learn.
Yeah.
So and then there's the visionaries, the people who help keep the building, our place clean and intact, and everyone has a little chore to make sure that nothing is falling over on people. So I
Clear.
think the family units are distinct by the correct characteristics of the skill set you want to learn or the skill set you already have, and so you
Can you
move it.
draw that?
Yes, I will try to do that by putting little people holding stuff.
Perfect.
Uh, yes. Let's. put some on the sides. Little tiny people. Oh, Control C.
Every digital artist's best friend, the undo button.
Right. Control. And we putting. Um, Let me zoom us to
Remember, there can be representations. We're not looking for perfection.
no, but I wanted to make them smaller, so I needed to zoom in a bit.
Hmm.
Eh, There we go.
Woo!
Then they have a tool in their hands.
And we're
So
also going to remember these features because we're the ones part of the story.
I really love the mix of shapes and colors, like building up and getting more and more like diverse each time.
Mm-hmm.
there's the Tinkers. I put on a hat on the Tinkers.
Safety first.
Yes.
There are all the Bob the Builder plushies
Yeah.
somewhere. All right. And Mel, when you have
Right.
another little puppeteer, a little drawing,
One more
you
for the tailors, and then we're good.
perfect. And then I'd like you to decide between discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I would like to, mm, before we get any first, also start a project
Cool. What project?
and to add to our water thing, a boat.
You want to build a boat.
Yes, at least a boat, like a canoe-ish boat that we can, when we extend, we can travel faster. In a
Okay.
like it doesn't have don't think of it as like Noah's Ark or like a big ship thing. I'm literally thinking something that is hollow with little seats and we could just sit and we could row.
For how many people?
I think three at a time. It's a good thing to have always have a party of people going somewhere. One to watch the front, one to watch the back, and the middle one that has the eyes around, you know?
Hmm.
Perfect. Now we are in the toy, the plushie section specifically.
Yes.
This sounds like it'll take a while to make because then
I
we have to sacrifice our sleeping area, the shelves that we inhabit.
I would say we not the sleeping area. We could sacrifice some of the canteen area because it might be more open.
How long do you propose this project take? And we all have to agree on the duration.
I would say that's like a 3 week project, but I would say we would start the 3 week project 3 weeks in your 3 week project
We have to decide now. So
now.
I think it sounds like a 5 week project at
Okay,
least.
then it's a 5 week goal.
Okay. Um, yeah, because if the three of us were part of a community, and again, this is still fantasy,
Yeah.
but if you told me you have 5 weeks to make a floating vessel for three people to take us down a river that will be ready soon,
Out of things you find in a shopping mall canteen area.
Hmm.
ish- I'd be impressed with myself if I got that done in like at least a month. So if you can draw that, Mel, please,
Yes.
draw your boat as you imagine it and put the number 5 next to it.
I'm gonna go up where the vending machine is
Yeah.
and make that the canteen area, and then
Okay.
have the boat thing.
And in the meantime, because it's the end of your turn, I'm going to
Yes.
erase my number 6, and it's going to become a 5 at the top of at because the turn has ended. So I'm going to write 5. And while Mel is working in that, I'm going to let Khalil have his prompt. I'm going to shuffle, 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 shuffle.
The suspense.
You have the 8 of Hearts. Oh, this game is being generous. Khalil, you have a choice of 2 prompts. First prompt: an old piece of machinery is discovered, broken but perhaps repairable. What is it? What would it be useful for? Or an old piece of machinery is discovered, cursed and dangerous. How does the community destroy it? Would you like me to repeat?
No, I'm okay, thanks. So we've got an old piece of machinery that is either broken and needs fixing, or cursed and needs destroying. Um, oh, I'm so tempted to go for the curse. um,
Could be itty bitty.
Potentially, uh, one of it's okay. It is a machine from the old custom plushie uh bar
Oh,
that they had at
the
the
build the beers, right? Like, yeah,
the legally distinct from
yeah,
um that creates some kind of mammal
yeah.
machine
Yes, the create.
and create a mammal uh uh and it is cursed because any plushie you make with it has like a 1% chance of coming to life and being evil.
Okay. How does the community destroy it?
I think for for a while people don't realize, um, and then after a few kind of incidents with sentient evil plushies, I think the, the like the the circuit boards are all taken out, and I think that like is where the curse was. But the rest of the hardware from the machine, so like the needles and the spools and the motors and stuff and the wires, all get salvaged, but like taken apart and put in separate things.
All right. So it sounds like you need to draw a destroyed machine or some sort of circuitry boards.
I can do that.
All right. Mel, your boat looks lovely. If you could draw a number 5
Oh
next to
yes,
it. Yeah.
5 next
And
to it.
at the end of Khalil's turn, that number will turn to a 4.
All right.
Perfect. Okay, so the
Yes,
cursed machine was there, was discovered, and it was destroyed. So
yes,
at the very least, we have the remnants of a formerly cursed machine. That's already really cool story building.
and it's for all the people who are the scavengers, the scavenger family, goes in, sorts everything out for what, who needs what, where can what go, and like, like I said, there's pools and with with treads and stuff all go to the Sowista family, and the little mechanical mechanic stuff goes to the thinkers builders family.
That
So yes,
that also means that there could have been a small little cursed plushie that managed to escape and just ran
indeed,
off into the darkness of the complex. And I don't know.
never
You
know.
can develop that on your turn if you want. I will say in games I've played, we've also established lore and we just forgot about it and moved on, which is fine. It can still exist in the moment.
Yes, I've already had an idea about the 1% evil plushie that okay, the minute Khalil said it, I'm like, I think I know how to stop this curse.
Well, the at the very least the machine is destroyed. So
Yes.
we'll see if the prompt helps you push towards that. Or otherwise you
Yes.
can just do the heck that you want when you discover something new, hold a discussion or start a project. Excellent, Khalil.
Ah.
Okay,
Hey.
done.
All right.
Hey.
Khalil, I'd like you to also tell me whether you want to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Um, I would like to discover something new.
Cool. It's canon, you draw it, it's new. That's it.
Okay,
Could be other
okay,
sections
okay.
of the
Yeah,
store.
that's what I was gonna do.
That's
Um,
your right when you discover something new.
so I think uh the neighboring aisle or
Hmm.
the neighboring section
Hmm.
is the kind of like legally distinct from Lego. It's the Lego building toys. section.
The build a brick.
The build the
Yes.
bricks, the breakers, the
So I'm going to draw some of that.
Sweet. All right,
nice.
so it is canon.
Oh,
Our
it won't let me unselect that. Uh, oh no, it's okay.
There we
It's
go.
done.
yep.
Yeah, I'm okay.
If it's ever misbehaving, pop in a new layer. Sometimes it's just the fastest way.
Okay.
Um, all right, so technically, as Khalil is going to draw that new section, that effectively means our community has spread from the plushies and has discovered the legally distinct
Hmm.
Shmego section.
Mhm.
So I'm having a bit of an issue. It'll only let me draw in the selection that
How curious.
did.
If you
If I
zoom out or you,
There we go. Now, yeah, the machine
yeah,
will just have to be bigger. There we go.
fair. Good to know as I'm also figuring out how to work with this page. Okay, so a new section has been discovered. And with that, it will be the end of Khalil's turn. So, wait, mine started at 6, or started at 5.
Yes. So now
So,
it's 4 for
4
me
and
and
4 for me.
5, 4 for you. Yes, because you
Yes,
were
I started earlier.
eraser. Let's see. Mm,
So that means there are 4 weeks left for the lazy river creation. And we probably didn't only got as far as the Lego Schmego place
yeah.
that Khalil's adventurers, discoverers found,
Yes.
because we can always connect these stories into the new lores created.
Okay.
Love it. Perfect. Great. And now we're going to start the second rotation of this season.
Yes.
It's my turn then. So I'm going to
Oop.
drop all the cards and just lift the one on top.
Whichever one fell in your hand, that's the one we
The
go
6
with.
of cards.
Yes.
My prompts are one of two. Prompt 1. Are there children in the community? If there are, what is their role in the community? Or how old are the eldest members of the community? What unique needs do they have? Mm. Mm. Yes, there are children in the community. Their role in the community. When some of the people started sleep talking, for some reason, prepubescent children knew exactly what was being said, even though they could not speak that language. They are some sort of divine, dreamlike interpreters.
Nice.
So I'm going to demonstrate that by drawing a book. I would say it's like they are effectively kind of making a dictionary of what this person is saying in their dream. It sounds like gibberish, but they're actually saying things like they're actually reading about recipes. That last
Oh,
dream that someone wore when they put on the cat suit that was from a former cat plushie, it was actually like 200 grams of sugar, 100 grams of butter, 2 eggs, and it was the recipe for blueberry muffins.
um,
So are the children who are transcribing these and writing these dictionaries, are they sharing them with the whole community, or is it like a secret thing amongst the kids?
I will say that it is known. And because it is known, the community is especially more so protective of these children because they're not just precocious little kids. No, they're also illuminating us
scribes.
to
Yes.
some
Hmm.
mysteries.
Yeah.
So here is
I can imagine that things are being said that um, have been forgotten, through time, and now they're rewriting them.
Yeah, it's kind of like the return of lost knowledge, but
Yes,
subconscious to the adults.
yes, I like that. I like that a lot.
okay. So that's how it goes. Now I get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project just to liven it up. I would like to hold a discussion. I get to decide the topic of the discussion.
Mhm.
And the discussion is how to use the broken, formerly cursed machine. I will speak on behalf of people who are a bit anti-technology. And their stance will be thus: we're getting along fine without machines right now. We're being creative, we're being ingenious. This is a chance to start fresh. Forget machines, we have our hands. Let's just do with that. So, Mel, who are you representing and what is their take on this matter of potentially reusing the formerly cursed broken machine?
Um, I will be part of the thinkers, the thinking family, the how do you call? Not I don't want to call them the thinking family.
The
Let's say the
inventors?
inventors. And their stance is we should not waste resources. All the parts can be reused for different um, projects.
Clear. Khalil, who are you representing and what is their stance?
I will speak for the children who have been transcribing these weird recipe dreams. Um, and they we are of the opinion um, that it's already kind of, it's exciting to, to see this this phenomenon of people being like influenced by the plush that they wear. Um, but we're a bit scared of seeing the dark side of that. Seeing that this machine can also introduce kind of a threatening aspect to the plush as opposed to this really revelatory aspect that we've seen so far.
Okay. The discussions have been had. My turn is over. So the projects will continue to tick down.
Tick
So the
down.
ongoing projects will
Yes.
tick down. They have 3 weeks until they are 3 turns until they are completed, whatever a turn means in this case. Three. And with that, I believe that was my turn, right? Then it's Mel's turn. Okay. Shuffle, not tossing the cards.
Hey, just throw it up in the air. See what falls.
But I gotta pick it up.
That's
All
true.
right, the Three of Hearts. Mel, your choice of prompts are:
Mhm.
someone new arrives. Who? Or two of the community's members get into a fight. What provoked them? Would you like me to repeat?
No, I'm good. I'm with someone new arrives.
Who, how, and then draw it.
I would say at first glance they look like the how do you say our community. So because they're also wearing like a plush type uh what looks like a plush type body suit,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
uh carrying a plush in their hands also. Uh, but as they walk more and more closer and getting towards the people, it doesn't look like the thing they're wearing is a suit, but it's part of them.
Please draw this. I was half expecting you to say, like, a walking, living plush walks up with, like, a little person. But no, yours is cute. Dude,
That was a bit too creepy in my head, so I
valid.
changed it for my
Valid.
own sense of sanity.
Valid.
I can see us both of us, all three of us, kind of like veering between like, oh, do we want to go horror? Oh no.
For my own sanity, I was like,
That's the beauty of it. We're all going to check in and like, is this okay? That okay? We're kind of thinking out loud, and we're all going to be respectful of like, can we tweak that? Like, yes, we can tweak it because this story is already something. That's the diplomatic. That's the only thing I think is this is something. If it's really
All
cool.
right, roll that out. I keep forgetting that my mouse is not on the screen. Oh wait, I can. Ah, there we go. Yes. Uh, how do I get to the top?
What do you mean the top?
So I expanded. Oh wait, let me try this, and that
Like
will
you zoomed
hold it. Yeah,
out,
yeah, yeah. Oh,
you can press
that's.
home on your
Oh yeah,
keyboard.
home.
Yes, home on your keyboard will reset the whole uh, canvas to size to fit your screen.
Home on my keyboard. Where
Yes,
is my keyboard's home button? Ah, there we go. Yes.
yes,
Ah, thank you.
of course.
Go back to the thing, and I'll be making a little bear person. No, technically not too little.
So it's a big, it's a person who, at first glance, looks like they're wearing a plush suit,
Yeah,
but that is all organically, biologically part of their skin
being
slash
yes.
being. That's their skin. All right. And then when you're done with our bear person, you have a choice of discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I will uh discover something new. Hold
Yes.
on, I'm gonna put a bear in their hands also. Yes, because that's not. Okay, so I want to discover something new, and my discovery is um, another aisle. I'm thinking
Ah,
an aisle where we can find stuff to help build finish the boat. So
okay. So in this mega toy store, what
yeah,
aisle is discovered?
um, I would say uh the household type aisle. You know where
Like
they
toy houses, doll
yeah,
houses?
those doll houses, those things where you have those kitchen sets and the how build kids drill build stuff at that
Okay.
type of section.
All right.
Let me put that somewhere higher up.
Remember, I have a sister now. She's 19 this year. And when she was like itty bitty, 3, 4 years old, one of the best presents I gave her based on her reaction was my first cleaning set. And it was just a broom, a dustpan, rubber gloves, and an apron, size for a 3 or 4 year old. She loved it. My mom, conversely, loved it. And I will say, even back then, and it wasn't specifically gendered, it was just like all bright primary colors, but I was just like, here.
How tidy is her home now?
It's a mess. It's a disaster. It did nothing.
So it didn't last.
No, but apparently, my parents were like, "Oh, this is really handy for getting into the corners because such a tiny little dustpan."
Well, you can
That's
see what the Victorians were about, you
mm.
know. Children have those little hands.
Oh God.
This channel does not advocate child labor.
Oh, I'm imagining that like we're saying that like a community of 30-ish people lives in the plushie section. And this must be like a city block's worth or half a city block's worth of plush
Mhm.
aisles or toy like to the ceiling, which we haven't determined how high they are yet for us to be comfortable and to be discovering aisles. Is it dark further into this massive building? Are we
I
having
don't think it's
torches?
just this. I'm thinking some places is still lit, and some places is in darkness. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure we are modifying torches or little fire lamp
Hmm?
things.
And you know how some plushies have like light up bits and stuff like that. We
Mm,
might have, like, you
You
put
take out the
you have a paw in one hand and you squeeze the paw and there's a little button in it, and like what used to be like a reindeer's red nose or something just like boom turns on, but it sings a little Christmas song at the same
ah.
time.
So exploration is really stealthy.
look. We're we didn't say we were stealth.
We did not.
You did not. All
It
right,
sings
there you
just
go.
enough of a copyrighted Christmas song to not flag the Twitch TOS.
Yes.
Sure. All right. So at the end of Melissa's turn, when she's done drawing, the project timer will tick down, and there will be only 2 weeks left, respectively, on the uh, somewhat lazy river and the boat that
Yes.
will ride this little lazy river. So in the meantime, I'm
Oh,
just going to
yes.
no. If you can finish up your drawing
No,
of your
I, I
island.
think I think that looks like household stuff. Am I? Oh, you got the treat. Thanks.
If you're telling us it's household stuff, it's household stuff. That's
Yes.
all. That's all it has to
Hmm.
be. Okay. And your boat, if you could please switch that 3 to a 2 because it's on your layer, and I think it'll be a little
Oh,
weird.
I'm just trying to get the thing, my thing to
Eraser.
respond so I can erase you.
Thank you very much. And now Khalil's turn. Let's say this is the last turn for the spring. So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Keep dropping cards.
So I erased it and then I wrote tree again. Cause why not?
Okay. The 10 of hearts, Khalil.
Hmm.
Your choice of prompts are one. There's another community somewhere on the map. Where are they? What sets them apart from you? Or what belief or practice helps to unify your community?
Maybe there is another group that we don't know of yet. Is that something that I can
Yeah.
do in response to that
Yeah,
prompt?
absolutely.
Yeah. Um yeah, I'd say that there is another group somewhere deeper uh in the aisles of this shopping center toy store. Um they they live in a very, very different aisle. They live in an aisle of they live in an aisle of action figures, and so they don't have clothes in great abundance, but they do have accessories in great abundance.
Mm,
So they have a lot
mm-hmm.
of capes. They have a lot of like plastic, like, you know, little toys, weapons, and little kind of
Rods and
accessory
balls.
vehicles and
But are
stuff,
they
but
literally
they're all
little?
tiny.
Yeah.
Um, I think these people are the size of action figures.
Okay. Okay. If you would please draw that.
Okay, how am I going to do this?
So they're distinctively geographically somehow away from
Yeah.
our existing neighborhood.
Mhm.
I think nothing is to scale on this map. We're just using our imagination.
Yes. Pick a corner.
I'm
Yeah.
going to zoom right in. And it's going to be. Give that person a little. Oh, that's the wrong color. There we go. Give that person a little cape.
Oh, that is
And I'll make
incredible.
just like another one.
So they live in the action figure aisle, but the aisles themselves must be massive to them because if they're action
Yes.
figure
Yeah.
size themselves.
Yes. So, but they do have access to a lot of grappling hooks and things like that.
Yep, yep, yep.
So they're very mobile.
So
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, they can easily get to more of the aisles than we can because
they have
they
vehicles.
have vehicles that they can fit in. They have
Yeah, and
uh,
they're all very brightly colored.
But
yes.
everything is plastic. It's gonna be uncomfortable.
Ah,
Well, it's like Aqua said, life in plastic. It's fantastic.
the yes.
But also interesting because most action figures are very battle oriented, sort of. Most of them at typical toy stores, very
Mhm.
mask coated, very. I wonder if there are people who prescribe to this mindset. They're like, oh my goodness, look at all these antiquated gender norms of these things. Okay, fine,
I think they have incredible dress sense. I think because they mix and match all the accessories and clothing from all the
awesome.
different action figures. And so, yes, there is a little bit of a militaristic style to the clothing, but in the same way as like a runway show might.
They,
Like, that's like a bit inspired, like, oh, we're going military this season, like that kind of thing.
yes, yes. Ah,
You know,
I
it'd be
like.
like a mixture of like tiger stripe baggy combat trousers with like a blue glittery cape, and like an orange grappling hook gun in your hand or something.
Awesome. All right, Khalil, when you're done with your little people, please determine whether you want to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Um, I would like to. Uh, I'd like to start a discussion.
Cool. What's the topic? You get to decide.
Um, when this river and boat um come to completion, what are we going to do with it? Is it safe to explore? Who gets to go and explore? Should we be exploring?
All right. Would you like to kick off who you're representing and what is their stance?
Um, I will start off by representing the the people who the people who don't have like great plushy clothes.
Hmm.
Um, and their opinion is that um, well, we don't have enough good clothes for everyone, and there's got to be other sections that have, better access to whether it's clothes or the materials for clothes or something like that. And so, we need it.
Okay. I will represent the divine children transcribers and their stance on the feasibility of the Lazy River and Boat project is there's a reason why these people are talking about recipes. What if in a land far, far away there's flour and sugar? What if we can make these things? I want pancakes. Mel, who are you representing and what is their stance?
So before you went with the cakes and the pancakes, I was gonna represent the cooks, and the cooks are like, so as good as we have it with all the supplements of these um processed food, we should be looking for ways to get out and about and maybe get real food. Like not it's not processed food is real food, but fresher food. Yes, fresher food.
All right. And that was a discussion. So it's interesting what we all lean for. It's like we as players kind of are interested in this. So that turn is over, and I see the baggy pants. Awesome. 1 week left on these
Yes.
projects until they're just completed. One. All right. And with that, spring has ended. There is a growing heat inside this massive building. There is increasing humidity. Depending on how close things are to windows, some plastic items are kind of warping, misshaping a little bit. Some brightly colored items are fading a little bit. Some people have to shake certain items.
These
Uh,
synthetic plushy clothes are a nightmare.
they
Oh,
really are as we go into the summer month of our game. All right, so that means we are now drawing from the deck from Diamond Suit of Cards. I'm going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And I'm going to draw the king. It's a Dutch suit, so the hair, the H for the king. And that means, oh, I drew the king, and my prompt is summer is fleeting. Discard the top two cards off the top of the deck and take two actions this week.
ooh,
Ooh.
So, whatever those two prompts would have been in this deck are now gone. Bye.
bye.
And I'm going to take two of the Discover Something New Whole Discussion Starter project.
Mhm.
Okay. Discover something new. I'm going to discover something new in the lazy river that is in the middle of being constructed as the water is being pulled forward and actually fills in this space. Overnight, there's fish, there's live fish in there.
Ooh.
Could be trout,
No,
could be salmon, but there's somehow fishies.
And they're
yeah,
not plushy fish.
No, they are fishy fish.
so I would say, do we recognize them as a community as fish? Do we remember what fish looks like as a community, or we're like,
Why isn't
what
it
is the
fluffy?
what? Yeah, what isn't it? Why isn't it fluffy, and why is it wiggling?
I will say that at least several elders in our
Okay,
community absolutely like this is fish. This is
yeah,
fresh
no, so
food.
not everyone, but like the elders, like okay, yeah, nice.
Okay, so that's my first action. And for my second action, I'm going to start a new project. Um, fish farm.
Mm,
Fish farm. If because if we fish all the fish out of this fishy river, we're going to be out. We need to ensure that we need to create spaces for them to lay their eggs, procreate, grow, and sustainably catch these fish.
And we can feed
Because
them from the vending machine.
hmm, so the project is thus to make a hatchery, and it's going to be presented by this separate off pool raised area with nets, subsections, so we can feed things. I don't know what that's going to look like, but this is the hatchery.
So I guess to build it, I think would be maybe at least 3 weeks. But then for it to become productive, I think it would be a week or two on top of that.
I tend to agree with that. So I'm thinking at least 4 or 5 weeks.
yes.
Sound
Well, I
amenable?
would say no. I would say longer because the structure to make that we will need to dismantle some more stuff from the canteen.
Or we can make it out of
Legos.
schmego.
Oh,
Schmecko.
schmegos! Oh, you know what? See, okay. Our schmego found.
Does 4 weeks sound thus
4 weeks sounds
amenable?
good. Yes. If
Okay.
we have already have like a sustainable way to make the containers.
Well, it's not sustainable,
I
but it
mean,
is
but
abundant and
abundant.
easy.
All right. So those were my two actions. At the end of my turn, our lazy river is done. And just based on where it is in this, where it's been drawn, this lazy river, I'll say could we agree that it reaches at the very least the where did the Legos go?
Oh, they're in the bottom.
Oh, they're the are they? I don't
Yeah.
see them anymore. Let's say, can we say that the lazy river reaches the dollhouse section of the store?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, are the schmegos not turning up on stream?
Yeah, they're well.
Oh, there we go. It was a
Yeah.
sizing issue. It was me.
Okay.
I was like,
We
all right,
lost the schmegos.
I will do everything to
No.
save the schmegos.
Right? Because there are building blocks, literally.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly extend our lazy river just with dots. The boat, therefore, is done.
Yes.
So you can erase the number one. We have a canoe that 3 plush community people comfortably fit in.
Yes.
And considering it took many weeks, a season to discover new things, maybe this boat ride, maybe the trip to the dollhouse section or the schmego section actually takes like hours of travel, and the little river cuts it down to like a quarter of that or something. Who knows?
Hmm.
But there could be upstream, downstream. I don't want to think about it too hard. So, Mel, I'm going to shuffle the deck in this season of summer.
Mhm, mhm.
Your top deck is the 8 of Diamonds, and your prompt is one of these two. Interesting.
Oof, oof.
Interesting. All right. Um, I think I might know where you go, but okay. Summer is a time for production and tending to the earth. Start a project related to food production. Or summer is a time for conquest and gathering of might. Start a project related to military readiness and conquest.
I know. We are going to expand into our canteen to see if we can uh, find stuff to grow.
Okay, what is the project you are starting within food production,
Um,
and how are you going to draw it?
okay, so I is trying to think what can be found in a canteen. Let's say maybe in the frozen section there's like fruits, and we found like some fruits had seeds in them, and we're
Okay,
trying to cultivate the fruits from the seeds.
there was an ancient tomato. Most of them rotted off, but at least one of them
Ah,
sprouted because tomatoes do this.
I would say
Khalil, you're
not.
muted.
I would say instead of tomatoes, I would say maybe because it's like a canteen with fruits and stuff. So I would say maybe uh yeah, I don't like
Maybe there was like a
rest.
bag of like that's a bagel seasoning that's like
Oh
multi different
yes,
seeds.
Cool.
good one.
Or a
Yeah,
Dorito tree, but
other
let's go with bagels. We get to decide.
yes, bagel seasoning. All right, and
So
I
you can
will.
grow poppies and sesame and stuff like that.
Yeah,
All right.
we're trying to find all the like. So we these are like the seeds. The elders told us that people used to grow stuff with
Like
seeds.
sunflower seeds.
So we're trying to figure out what we can grow with them. So
Okay.
experiment. I'm gonna try to make a box
Perfect.
with sprinkles on top that looks like like we're sprinkling.
Delicious bagely box.
Mm. From personal experience, if a seed is going to grow, it's usually within 2 to 3 weeks before it, what's the English word for quick?
Germinate.
Sprouts, germinates.
Yeah, germ. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I would that's the I will give it 4 weeks for you to see like real, most likely
Oh, because
see
it has to
what,
germinate and then
and
peek
then it
through the
needs to, yeah,
soil.
you need to see
Yeah.
if there's like plant life coming out of
And
it.
they're so vulnerable when they're so tiny, is they have
Yes.
to get to a certain size before you know they're going to take.
So
Right.
4 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let me get a other color. Let's use green.
All right. And because that's your turn, you still get to decide one of the 3 things after this.
Yes.
Unless the prompt specifically says you don't get to do this, you get to do extra. We assume you still get a choice of discover something new, hold a discussion, or start another project.
So a oh, am I on the oh? I had eraser in my hand.
Do any of you have plants you're growing? Anything on the balcony or on the kitchen table?
IRL.
Oh,
IRL.
I had some strawberries from my garden this morning.
Lovely.
oh, that
Yeah,
is
I have a
gorgeous.
very small little garden at the back of my flat, and I grow strawberries, I grow rocket, I grow sorrel, chard, and some herbs,
Nice.
a few
Nice.
Can
wildflowers.
you come help me grow stuff? I can't grow stuff. I mean, that's not true. I have grown some stuff, but because of forgetfulness, they only last for a while. So I think the best things we had grown was oh my god, tiny cucumbers. I
Nice.
Ooh,
had some of
yum.
those, so we made pickles.
Yummy.
That's a thingy, and after trying, like, I had like mint and stuff, those things that germinate easy.
My mint doesn't. I don't know why.
My mint had germinated through my whole garden, like the
They
whole, but
they do
they
this.
jump from, because I live also like I did everything on the balcony, and I live close to the a wooded area, and
Mhm.
so we have birds and stuff. So like I literally started growing grass.
That's good. That's good because I know that a lot of Dutch. I'm in a house in a row house while Mel is finishing up her beautiful little seeds. Uh,
Yes.
all my neighbors in their
Uh,
backyards, they're all tiled over. It's all cemented, and I'm the only one with pots and trees and bushes. I got rhubarb, strawberry,
ah,
jasmine,
Mm.
oh,
tomatoes.
nice.
All the cats and birds visit me. And
Okay.
today I was taking a walk around my park, and there's wild blackberries.
Yes, we
Ooh.
have that also. Wild blackberries in our um the hay area in the
Mm,
back where it's beautiful. I love it. I got the planters and I put a 4.
clear. Could you also please determine whether you want to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start another project?
I would like to hold a discussion
Gotcha.
about our new visitor
Mm,
that we have held a bay a bit because we were not sure what their intentions are.
okay. Who are you representing and what is their stance?
I'm representing
You can also be the bear.
yes, I will be the bear and its beer partner. And I will go I have come this way because this little bear came to me and showed up in our community and told us about your community.
Okay.
And I wanted to see if it was telling the truth.
Okay.
So,
That's it. And remember, we're not going to have a back to
yeah.
back discussion. So, Khalil, who are you representing and what is their take?
Well, that set off a real red flag for anyone in our community who has had any of these incidents with these like little sentient plushies from the evil machine.
Mm,
Um, and so their perspective, our perspective is how do we how we need to know what you have heard about our community and from this little thing, and whether you like what your intentions are, and we're not sure about that. We're not sure whether you're being straight with us.
all right. I will represent the fish, and they will say blah 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 blah. But one of the child divine scribers somehow also understands this. Somehow their innocence of soul and purity that makes them understand other languages that jaded adults cannot. And we understand that the fishers are saying Hello, friend. Will you carry us to new lands too? Is what the fishies actually say in response to this prompt. All right. So Mel's turn is ended. So
Yes.
your project starts at 4 weeks. I'm going to
Yes.
pull down the timer on the fish hatchery.
Yes.
And then it is Khalil's turn. I'm going to write a 3. All right, Khalil. Shuffle the cards, shuffle the cards. The queen, the vrouw. Interesting. Khalil, you have. Okay, your prompt is a project finishes early. Which one and why?
I'm gonna say that the fish farm finishes early because the 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 child translator who heard the fish talking to the bear, um, they made everyone realize that these fish somehow have consciousness and language, and so there was a kind of urgency of we need to study this and find out how it works and see if we can communicate with the fish. So it's a kind of it's turned into a scientific interest as well as like a if we're going to be farming them, is it okay to eat something that can talk?
Oh, oh, yeah. Can you draw that, please?
Okay, how do I draw an ethical quandary? Okay.
A
Okay.
bubble touch and an E or EQ.
I'm gonna draw some people, some philosophers. There we go.
Yes.
Perfect. A fishy with a beard. I don't know.
Yes. Next to the fish tank.
Ah, this story got interesting.
Indeed. Now we have a sentient fish that is trying to communicate with us.
Sorry, no more
We
sushi.
have. That's all right. This is why we grew the plants.
Mm, mhm.
uh, we have a team of discoverers trying to see if there's more to see with the water our boat's team. You know,
Yeah,
you know. So you never know. We might run into more things that we might be used for food, like a next canteen. You never know.
indeed. Look at this smart ass fishy.
Uh, now it's standing on two. Now I'm worried. When they start standing on the fins, I like it.
Brilliant. I love
Uh,
it. Khalil,
uh,
you still get the option of discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Um, I am going to start a project,
Yes.
and that project is going to be um, trying to understand how we can communicate with the fish. Um,
Blah, 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 blah.
yeah, it's gonna be. I don't think we can do a dual. Yeah, it'll be. I know it will be um a research project and communication workshop where it's us, it's the fish, and it's the bears, and we're all trying to work out how to communicate effectively with each other, and it's a kind of like a radically inclusive kind of dialogue den type thing plus fish uh biology research institute.
It sounds like, well, we have break rooms and cantinas that could be converted into classrooms.
facts.
How long do you think this project would take? That's
It's
my
not going to be
interpretation.
easy. It's
Okay, you
not.
tell me.
um well, I think it'd be relatively quick to set up,
Yeah, I
but
see that.
for it for the project to come to completion to a point where we can communicate between the three of us,
Mm-hmm.
um I think that would probably be a bit more challenging.
How long? One minimum, six max. Five? I think
Um,
five is a good compromise for that. Mel, any thoughts? Five, six?
I would give it the full six.
That's fair.
because of the tree is tree. It was like two, like the fish and us, but we also decided to include the bear because we want to make them feel
Hmm.
safe and for for we to know if they're safe. So so
Okay.
it's three different languages we're working with. So
And the
three.
kids are the main transcribers. We can't rush them. They're going to be
Yeah,
exhausted. We need to be
exactly.
Hmm.
fair. So, how do you draw this? And whatever you end up drawing, Khalil, if you can put a 6 near it.
Um, if you bring it down some more, you'll have more space, like on the bottom
I
of
got it.
the.
I got it. Who needs space when you can zoom in?
Oh, true, true. I love it. Yes, yes.
Bam. That's clever. Everything's representative.
So now we're
Clever.
having scholarly discussions and things about understanding each other and where they come from and what how their languages work and how languages work. I like it.
Beautiful. All right.
I'm all for education.
And
And
we said that was six, correct?
Yes,
yes. So Mel, you can bring down your
yeah,
timer of
yes.
your I keep saying quicker. Your germination project. You're sitting to 3. And I think this is a good time to take a break because we are all doing a lot of talking. I know I could refresh my water bottle,
Hmm.
take care of ourselves. Audience, thank you for joining us. Remember, we are here raising money for medical aid for Palestine. You can see the Tiltify above us. Anything you can provide is really, really thankful. Throughout this whole weekend, there are other creatives and games that are going to be live, a bit more interactive. Support them too, shout them out. Thank you so much for all the support you can give us, and we're going to be back soon. Bye.
Bye.
And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are playing a game of The Quiet Year. Quiet Year is a collaborative storytelling world building game that not only do we describe and come to life based on prompts, we have to actually draw it out. If you're just joining us, the beautiful art you are seeing is the world. And every single doodle and dot has a meaning
Oh
to
no.
us. We're also doing it because the work being done by the Organization of Medical Aid for Palestine has a lot of meaning to us, and it should to you, and it should to every decent, kind-hearted person in the world. If you have the means to donate by clicking the Tiltify above us, or I'm sure in the chat, please provide, give what you can. Please share this with others who might have the capacity to give what they can. Sharing and amplifying the word are valid ways of helping. Engaging in chat so that other people find this stream, this event, and the other games during this weekend of game giving, of charity giving through TTRPGs for the Rolling C Word event are all valid ways of helping. Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to continue playing our game. Before the break, we discussed that our world takes place in this massive mall, massive abandoned mall sized toy store that we have to explore and discover aisle by aisle. And it seems that our initial community of 30-ish people are humans, humanoids. We never defined it. And
I would say humanoids.
so far we've found that there is some sentience. There has been sentience to some toys. There are other humanoids that resemble toys, but they are not. That is who they are. We have dug out a river, and fish appeared who also express desires and needs and sentience. Divine children, a far away other community we haven't delved into, legally distinct schmegos, etc. And we are going to continue now with the last 2 seasons. And we are here because we are the last community. And spoiler alert, at the end of winter, the curtain will close on our community. They don't know, but we, the players, will know. But they're going to go on fighting for survival fighting for creativity, the time for growth, time to discover. That's what's undermined, and we're happy about it. So I'm going to kick off the season of autumn, and the prompts are based on playing cards by suits. So I have here the suit of clubs, and I'm going to shuffle the deck completely. Pull out the top card, which is the 10 of clubs, and I get to choose a prompt. All right. Harvest is here and plentiful. Add an abundance. Or cold autumn winds drive out your enemies, remove a threatening force from the map and the area. We haven't really defined threatening forces. We've defined a haunted, a machine that was formerly cursed,
Mm-hmm.
and we think those curses are gone. So I'm going to pick the first prompt that says harvest is here and plentiful. As spring and summer have passed, um, there's a bit of a cold breeze coming in through the sides of the building, through the open windows. There's much more rain nowadays outside, and we hear pitter pattering on, maybe we assume we can hear it through the roof. Add an abundance. We had previously determined that we had clothing as a scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
we had fresh food as a scarcity, but we had restrooms and these sort of accessible places as abundances. So I'm going to say that now fresh food is an abundance because of previous projects that we are actually growing crops. And I'm going to say that with the somehow magical, the appearance of fish in this river that we carved out from into this floor also means that little seaweed and lichen have appeared, and those are edible. We have fresh food in some manner. So I'm going to draw that, and I'm going to call it nori. Right? We have little nori of kelp.
Delicious.
Maybe we have shellfish. As far as we have tested, are not sentient for now,
Mm-hmm.
at least, because I have this problem of making things sentient in my game. I'm going to just draw a little clam here. All right, so we have fresh food, and it's seafood inside this abandoned last community in the world toy store mall. We have seafood. I
I
love
love
it.
that we're building up this like diverse ecosystem in this trench river that we've created in this shopping
Yes.
center.
All right, and I get to
We
now.
don't know what magical water we've dragged in from the outside.
It was from
Or
our.
where the water's coming from.
We have an abundance of restrooms, so I
Yes.
made the assumption that ergo we
Oh,
have working
oh, but
plumbing.
oh yeah. See, my brain was going to where is the water in the restrooms coming from?
You can determine that on a turn if you want.
We'll see.
I get to, as part of my turn after a prompt, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. We have so much map space. I want to discover something new. I want to discover deeper into the complex of our toy store mega structure. At all times of day, all of a sudden, we hear what Aida, Mel, and Khalil recognize as the ding, 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 ding of cash registers. We are hearing the sound of cash registers. Where and how that comes from, I don't know. I don't, that's, yeah. So I'm going to just somewhere over here, we hear the melodic sound of beep, 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 ching.
And it's just the mechanical sounds of it. We don't hear the human sounds of like interaction or
No,
oh, there's your change or
No,
no,
we just hear the
just
sound somewhere.
terrifying.
Okay, and I'm going to discover as that. At the end of my turn, our project counters go down.
go
So
down. Yes.
the the greenhouse is to 2, and our communication endeavors, it goes to 5. Sweet. And now it's going to be Mel's turn in this season.
Yes, yes. Come on, prompt.
6 of clubs. 6 of club, Mels. Your prompt is, okay. Choice 1. Introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community. Or conflict flares up, and as a result, one project fails.
I'm gonna go with the dark mystery, but I'm not gonna make it up. I'm gonna add to our Build a Bear mystery.
Yep.
Remember our little friend that came with the big bear?
Hmm.
He was one of the escaped uh, bears that got away from our,
From the
rounding up.
create a creature.
Yeah, create a creature
From the cursed machine.
from the cursed
Hmm.
machine, and his how do you say notion of it brings tides of warning that there are a few more of them that had escaped than we have thought. Or better yet said, a few of them still remain in
So,
our encampment, but we have not discovered.
so the bear person's little bear was a
Yes.
formerly cursed, came from the cursed machine.
Yes. Befriended by this bear,
Okay.
he how do you say he broke the curse with love?
Cool.
So they
Nice.
befriended each other. He befriended the big bear, befriended the tiny bear, showed him a lot of love, curse broken, and now he's willingly giving like information, but it's doom and gloom type information because he knows that there are still some of his counterparts lying around in wait
Cool.
somewhere in the abundance of our plush community.
All right. Can you draw that out?
Yes, I'm gonna draw
Ooh,
some
fun.
evil plushies lying around.
Yeah.
See if I can. See if I can. And it'll be funny. Not all evil plushies look like bears.
Valid.
Let's give him
This is
a
making me think of all the like plushies, the stuffed animals I had when I was a kid.
Hmm.
I think my favorite was a polar bear, but it was like, you know, anatomically relatively accurate. So it had, it was on 4 legs with like pointy head like a polar bear has, rather than just like a kind of anthropomorphized one.
oh,
Nice. Can't imagine
sorry.
any ones that come to
Undo
mind right
Control
away.
C. Yes.
I had a blue jay as well because I've got cousins in Toronto, so went to visit them when I was really really young and came back with a stuffed blue jay.
I'm trying to.
Man, what did I have? Unfortunately, I think I had a Minnie Mouse doll, and that was about it. I was, my family, we didn't do much. We didn't have many new toys. Everything was a lot of
Hmm.
hand me downs or things from thrift stores. So when we had something, we treasured that to filth.
Yeah, when you value something that much, like you really look after it.
Holy
Yeah,
moly.
I'm gonna put like little spaces up here where they're hiding, most likely.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay. So it's like a shelf within a shelf, like a little
Yes, little
nooks and crannies.
crevices. Yes,
Nice.
and
All right.
now.
And Mel, when you're done, if you would
Mhm.
please determine whether you're going to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project. Little plushies.
All this discussion of like cursed, haunted, evil plushies hiding amongst normal ones. Uh, I hope that none of the viewers at home are watching from a room full of plushies.
But you can break the curse with love.
Although to be
Yeah.
fair, I now only own uh so I have a plushy white blood cell that I got from a conference, an immunology conference that I went to when I was a PhD student. Um,
All right, that looks good.
it's just slightly less adorable, but still cute.
I keep regularly a cat on a stick.
Of course.
Adorable. I have a whole cupboard of plushies.
How
I'm
many
sure
are
you
About
won't.
wanted?
5 minutes, no, 10 steps away from me. I collect little My Little Pony plushies. Oh, the Albert
Cute.
Heijn
Oh, the hamsters.
hamsters. Yes.
All
Uh,
right. I hope they're kind. Mel, if you could tell us, are you deciding to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project?
I am discovering something new.
Cool. What is that?
And I am discovering from our one of our trips a area with things that shapes of books that's read their stories. So they are telling their stories, the stuff that is in it in the
Mm.
books.
So are these
So
beings or are they
yes,
objects?
yes, they're like being creatures. They're in the so they decided to congregate in the book area
Yep.
because it's easier to blend in, but they shape as book, all types of shapes, and they communicate by telling parts of their stories to each
So,
other.
l- effectively living books that
Yes,
are
effectively.
physiologically also book shaped.
Yes.
Sweet. If you would please draw that for us.
I guess
Uh,
books do have a spine
Yeah.
right?
and sometimes they have a tongue. Um, what other parts does a book have?
Well, I can also imagine like maybe they talk by maybe a
Yes.
text appears on their pages
Yeah.
rapidly, or they just kind of open flap their covers.
They communicate in many different styles, like you said, the words coming up on the pages, sounds of the pages flapping, the open and closing, but also sound like reading a passage.
Oh,
So
so some of
they
them are audibly
yeah, yeah, so it's like, as I said, like it's diverse in their communication way, and
All fun.
each of them took the time to learn how to communicate with each other.
love it. If you would please draw that.
Right. Let's see. Across the schmegos area.
I am intrigued by that by that cash machine noise.
Mm. Ching 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 ding.
Something's up there.
Interesting. All right.
Books.
Just happy book creatures.
Full of books. Like that. Spies.
Yeah, we that's representative.
Yeah.
This game is all about interpreting with your mind's eye. And then at the end of your turn, whenever you're done drawing, the project counters will go down. So 1 week for the greenhouse
Yes.
and one last week for the communication endeavors. All right. And then it'll be Khalil's turn.
Oh, before we go, may I
Yes,
add that the discovery of these books is helping our communicating classes.
perfect. They're already part of our community.
Yeah, so we're after we discovered them and they understood us and we understood them. We're trying to understand these languages. Maybe you have ideas about how to go about it faster
It is
without
canon.
exhausting without exhausting the kids, right?
Yeah.
We
There's a
want
book that's
something
like,
to
so
we
you're trying to speak to fish.
yes. I'm down to one, right? For the
I believe so.
was it two? One?
I
Yes, it was because just wait, let me control Z something here. Control Z, control Z, control Z, control Z.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
See?
smart approach. I was like, stop the recording and just go back. That's a really simple smart approach. All right. And then it'll be Khalil's turn. I'm going to shuffle a card. I'm going to pull a prompt for Khalil.
What's gonna
You
happen?
tell us. I don't know. The Eight of Clubs. Eight of Clubs. Eight of Clubs.
Ooh, what's that reaction?
Oh yeah.
A sharp intake of breath is always
It's
comforting.
I, I'm opening our lines in Bell sheet. I'm like, this is okay. This is okay.
okay. Yes,
Yeah.
check the lines of
All right.
bells.
Your choice, Khalil. Someone returns to the community. Who? Where were they? Or you find the body. Do people recognize who it is? What happened?
We find a body.
Okay.
Um, on one of our boat journeys,
Mm-hmm.
um, we come across a small, probably 20 centimeter sized humanoid body, like on the river, on the kind of edge of the river. Maybe like the body had fallen in and gone down river for a little bit, but it's kind of lodged up against the side, against the bank, maybe against a patch of reeds or something. Um, and it is wearing an incredible outfit of like slightly mismatched, but somehow they work, different brightly colored little outfits. And it's one of these
The little
action
ones.
figure people,
Mm-hmm.
but this is our first contact with them as a society. Um, and at first we think it's just a doll, and someone goes to pick it up, and then they get shocked by how biological it feels, and then they look, and it's no, this definitely was alive. Um, it's until recently, and it shows signs of like of maybe having been in a fight, but there's little
Okay.
little threads of fuzzy synthetic fur attached to some parts of it, like under its in like there's a clump in its hand as if it had been defending itself against something that is clothed in synthetic fur.
Interesting. So may I posit that as soon as we found this body and realized it's biological, we gave it burial rights.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once we realized it was biological and had kind of non-invasively learned a little bit
Hmm.
about kind of how it might have got there, yes, very respectfully laid it to rest.
Yes. So could you please draw this story or its end result or however you want to
Okay,
describe that as?
so first up, I'm going to
Grab the cards.
extend the river a little bit.
Yeah.
Our river is getting life of its own. I love it.
Well, the water's got to go somewhere.
Facts.
Um, oh, brown is a tricky color to do. It, it is not present on a wheel,
Oh,
but I
they're
can
looking
do
for brown?
this. Here we go. I got it. I
Yeah.
know. It's good.
So
Okay,
go
good,
in
good.
between the yellow and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
orange,
yeah. I got
and
it.
then yeah. should be able to.
Okay. Just a little bit of disturbed earth. And I guess we make a little headstone out of.
Schmegel.
Yes,
The,
yes.
the Schmegel comes in all colors. We set aside, we went out of our way to finally color coordinate. I'd like to imagine that because we had all the Schmegel, we never color coordinated because it was just more beautiful that way.
Yep. We were like, we just picked the ones that fit on each other and go.
Beautiful.
Yes. Um, and so that has, yeah, that has kind of expanded our like understanding of this world, and also introduced a little bit of a okay, so
There
does
was the
this relate
past.
to some of the other stuff that we were talking about in terms of
Mm.
the cursed little uh, thingies?
All right, Khalil, you still get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Um, I think I'd like to just discover something.
Yes.
Um, and that is um that while we were laying this tiny person to
Mhm.
rest, we could still hear the cash machine noises, but they were a little bit louder because we were a bit closer, and so we're starting to pinpoint where they might be.
Yeah.
Um, and so before we went back to the settlement, we sent out a couple of scouts.
Yes.
Um, and the cash machines seem to be being operated by some sentient plushies that seem to be like taking trinkets and resources and things from anyone who passes through that area. And so it's a kind of a shakedown. It's kind of it's a toll, but it's
Mm.
Interesting. They're sort of imposing some sort of tax, or basically they just want to control these trinkets and these things. And
yes. So anyone passing through that area has to give up some kind of resource or something nice or something shiny.
interesting. All right, if you could draw that, please.
Yes. Okay. Mm, 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 gray.
Ah,
Gotcha.
Um, oh wait, no symbols.
No, symbols are symbols would be okay. Like if we're writing like text, like letters and words. Uh, I would argue that
That's
dollar,
okay.
euro sign, pound signs are symbolic or representative of something bigger.
I'm going to do.
should make up our own symbol for whatever cash. Yeah.
Zenny.
Well, because it's not currency even that they're
Yeah,
after. It's just stuff.
it's just stuff. Yeah.
It's buttons. It's bottle caps. It's I don't know. It's zipper pulls. Maybe that's valuable to the plushies.
That is amazing, Khalil.
You're so
Uh,
good at that. I would have to like Google it back and try to like figure out. I couldn't conceptualize it.
That is the back of some kind of
Mouse
evil plushy
plush.
mouse.
I see it. That's brilliant. At the end of your turn, the other project counters go down.
oh
We
yes.
have poppy, sunflowers. It's also the end of fall, the autumn. So yeah, these things would have been harvested, and we have some freshness. They're already harvested. We're already sprinkling them into our
On top of our stuff.
shellfish, our
Yes.
shellfish based diet.
Yes.
The fishery goes down also as well, if it hasn't already been adjusted. No, sorry,
Oh,
the
yeah.
communication. The
I've
communication.
I've taken that down one.
Perfect. All right. And with that, we're going to move into the last season. Now, I'm going to let us play a full season of
Ooh.
cards. However, after we each have a turn, I'm going to remove half the cards and I'm going to add the king. Whenever the king is drawn, that's the end of the game. Or until we're like, oops, time is really running out. But
Ooh.
this will be the other randomizer. So for the first
All right.
turn,
All right.
this guy is not, the king is not in the deck. And it's winter. The winds from beyond our giant toy store mega complex are cold. Frost and ice and sleets are barreling in through any openings, and all our communities have been pushed deeper and deeper into the center, into more unexplored areas to try to find warmth and comfort, which they do, but ultimately leads to a bit of more compactness and perhaps opportunities for further relationship building, positive or negative, but our community has been very resilient in that positivity. So I'm going to draw myself a card from the last suit of cards, the spades. And that one is the 9 of clubs. Okay. Okay. I don't even get a prompt. I'm just told what happens.
Ooh.
Well, I do get a little bit. Someone goes missing, and they're going to be alone in winter elements. I get to choose one. The community organizes constant search parties, and eventually the person is found. But project die will not be reduced this turn.
Yeah.
Or no one hears from that person again.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yes.
I'm going to say that everyone is asleep. We're all cuddled close. We've now made makeshift mattresses and pillows from all the other uh, plush toys. We have some modicum of comfort. As we're all close together, suddenly at night, everyone hears one massive splash. And they get up and look around. Oh, this might affect the project, but the fish are missing. They're not in the river anymore. There's no bodies. They're just, we heard a splash. We got up and looked around, and there's no more
Ooh.
fishies.
The fish. The fish are gone.
Are they gone from the fish farm and the river, or just the river, or just the farm, or both?
I can't decide. What would be more dramatic, or I don't want to impound on your project either, but I am actively
I
putting
mean,
a
if
wrinkle
if it
into it.
impacts on the project, it impacts on the project. Like sometimes that, yeah, sometimes things go wrong. That could be a an interesting bit of drama.
All fish are gone. Everything they left behind is still there. Any written, they would have learned written language by then. All that is still there. Maybe they left a cryptic message behind.
Ooh, and the rest of the weeks on this project is
Is
trying to
decide trying
decipher
to
that.
decipher the
Yes,
yes.
There we
yes.
go. We found the middle ground. So I am actually going to now just say they're missing. They're gone.
Are the invertebrates still there?
Yes, it's purely fish that are gone. So
Hmm.
our shellfish, our nori, and even our little friendo is
Yeah, we
somewhere.
drew up little missing posters
With
Hmm.
pictures of fish on.
with fishes
Have
of
you
Have you
fish.
seen this
seen
Have
fish?
you seen
the
have you
people?
seen this
Our
fish?
community is concerned about them.
Yes, we're like going down the river, sticking it at any new discovery
Hmm.
places. Have
Hmm.
you seen these fish? They are friendly, you know,
I would
sentient.
like to hold a discussion.
Hmm. Hmm.
The topic will be Oh man, I just threw a wrench, but there's other things I want to explore too. Man, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Um,
You can do it.
a representative from the cash register operating community has come and has said, "Hello, you exist. Please give us trinket." And the topic of the community is our what should our response be to this? Um, I will respond on behalf of the inventors, the inventors, and their stance is we need all the resources we can get to make sure we have a comfortable and safe winter. We don't know yet what is valuable for the sake of just giving to collectors or hoarders. I think we should come to a compromise and not just give our things willy nilly. That's my stance.
I am going to represent the elders. We, the elders, are not for having to pay for our existence. We will have a discussion with them, and if not, we will tell them to go back to their community. We are our own.
Okay, and Khalil.
I will represent the kind of scouts and gatherers of the community.
Yeah.
Um, and I will say, um, you know, we can always go and find more places with more resources, and um, there might be things that we find that are more valuable than what we give to these people. Maybe it's worth just paying them off, and we will see what we discover as we keep investigating this place.
Okay. The discussions was had. The only active project is the deciphering the last cryptic words of the fish. So that can go down to two. And now it will be Mel's turn. I'm going to pull a card for Mel.
Come on, give me a tree. Oh,
Yeah, it's
six.
six. It's six. Winter is always like, whew. All right.
Winter has come.
Oh, Lordy.
And this is the one we do the whole deck of.
Yeah.
The time has come to consolidate your efforts and your borders. Projects located outside the settlement will fail, and all remaining projects are reduced by 2 weeks, meaning the remaining project is going to be done. Or someone finds a curious opportunity on the edge of a map. Start a project related to that discovery.
um, as we have not built really outside of our own space, we only discovered and and explored and then came back.
Hmm.
I would go with the deciphering, like like something one of the kids had a dream of their own, like for the first time, so they're not hearing other thoughts from the others. They had one of them had a dream of their own, and they figured out the deciphering of the fish messaging.
All right, so that project is just immediately done. We don't have to wait another two turns.
And that
Um,
makes sense in the context of that prompt because it says, "Oh, we need to concentrate on, you know, like
Or
putting
yeah,
up some boundaries and stuff." We've just been visited um,
outsiders.
by a plushie demanding tribute.
mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. I'd encourage you both to, both of you to, what was that cryptic message?
Ah, I would say they got
What did the cryptic message from the fish say?
it's
crypto.
spawning time. So they had all
Yes,
just
so
gone
they
back
so
upstream.
home, yeah, so they're
Yeah,
like
they had all gone
they've been
back into the
called.
toilet and back up the water source to go
They
and
felt they
spawn
felt a
upstream.
calling for home. Yes, they
And
felt a
so
calling for
in the
home.
spring, there's going to be a bunch of eggs that come down the river again and repopulate the river.
But that also means that there's an outside beyond our
Yes.
mega toy store.
Hmm.
That's what they were trying to tell us. That
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of like a
there
Plato's cave type thing.
yes.
Yes. Nelson, this was still your prompt. Could you draw that?
Yes.
And
I
then you can
will.
discover something new, hold discussion, and start a project because this is going to
Mhm,
be
mhm.
one of our last turns, and I want to
How
respect the time
graphically do
as
you
well.
want to draw a bunch of fish getting it on?
Little fishy hearts,
Yeah. Hearts are red.
a little saxophone.
I'm gonna put
It's
some.
reminding me of the time me and my
Oh,
friends accidentally started a small country on a rubbish tip, and our mascot was a little cartoon shrimp playing the saxophone. It
Yes,
all made a lot of sense at the time.
like this drawing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw some fish going upstream.
All right, clear. And if you would please, Mel, discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Yes. I would like to discover something new.
Yes.
And what I have discovered is because of that messaging, the group, a small group of inventors, went digging to find the hole to the outside.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay, please draw that.
All right, I'm gonna dig that, and that's the back here. Mhm. And that is them trying, like removing stuff
Okay.
to find the outside.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to give Khalil
But
his prompt.
I'm sure this one's going to be just relaxing and fine and nice,
Could
right?
be. I don't know.
It's winter. What's the worst that could happen?
If the worst, the
Khalil,
worst that can happen.
your choice. All the animals and young children are crying and won't stop. Hold a discussion about this in addition to your regular action for this week. Or a great atrocity is revealed. What is it? Who uncovers it?
Ooh. Um.
So if you do the first one, you get to hold discussion and then still do any of the three.
Yes. Uh. Yeah. I think all the children and animals are crying, but by animals I mean the plushies.
Mhm.
So even the ones that weren't originally sentient, all of a sudden, all start weeping. Um, and it's not clear why, but the children are weeping as well. And so we know that it's probably something to do with that kind of psychic translation that they've been doing. But
Okay.
this is on a scale that we haven't seen before.
Okay. Uh, start the discussion. Who you're presenting and what is their stance? Take.
Um, I am going to represent uh the 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 kind of childcare kind of task group of our
Mhm, mhm.
community. Um, and we are freaking the hell out because we barely even understand the original manifestation of this when it was just translating recipes from people's dreams. But now it's so widespread and it's in such a distressing form. Um, we were at a loose end of what to do, how to deal with this.
All right. I will represent. I will say that the 20 centimeter tall people, uh, because it's winter, have now started going deeper in and have now been regularly visiting our community. And now they have a stake in our community, whether they're integrated or just still on the periphery because they're new and curious still. But they will speak up and say, "What's crying like? We've never cried. Can you tell us what crying is about? Are they happy or sad? Why is water coming out of their face? We wish we had water from our face." And Mel, who are you representing and what is their stance, take, reaction?
I'm representing one of the latent, hidden sentient bears,
Okay,
and I'm talking as we are now trying to integrate your like the the thoughts. We can't stop hearing the thoughts. Why are they channeling thoughts through us?
ho,
The thoughts.
ho. Okay. Khalil, you still get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Um, I think, uh, I think, uh, I think I'm going to discover something.
Go for it.
Um, so you mentioned that the little action figure people have
Hmm.
become kind of fairly regular correspondents of ours.
Yeah.
Um, I think that we have discovered um, like a kind of haberdashery and craft department of the store, and so collaborating with them and their incredible fashion sense and the new availability of non synthetic plush kind of fabrics, we are starting to diversify our wardrobe. So it's still very like plush animal kind of themed, but much more functional and with more, new colors and styles and stuff. So it might be like, like a tiger headpiece with like a denim jacket and like some like combat trousers or something like that. Just mixing together different looks.
That was my favorite part of any toy store, the arts and crafts section. Those plastic cases. You're like, make your
Oh
own
yes,
friendship
make
leggings,
your
make your own
own. Yeah.
candles, make your own. I
Look, I
love
still
that
get
shit.
my niece those. I love walking into a store and finding those tiny things and go, let's craft together because I'm a crafter. So and because I craft, she likes crafting.
Yes, Khalil
Also,
is going to draw that for us.
that word haberdashery
Hmm.
is one of my favorite words to say in the English
Yes,
language.
because I use
Haberdashery.
it. I use it in the sentence of what in the haberdashery and hemoglobin is going on here. That
I love
got
it.
it for someone, a comedian, and for the first time I heard him say it, I'm like, this is my new way of saying what in the hell is going on. But instead of saying hell, now I can say what in the haberdashery and hemoglobin is going on over here, and it's always a good time.
Love
Um,
it. Okay.
a I would like to extend a little bit on the lore of the still making clothes of the plushies. We are now we do now figure out which ones are sentient or not before we
Hmm.
because they're now like even though they still have some bad habits, they're not cursively evil anymore because they're been communicating with the we had help from the one loved plushie that came back.
I would even argue that even if we knew or not whether or not they were sentient, we just moved away from using plushie
Yes,
these skinned plushies because
yes,
even if I see another rubber doll that is my size, I would feel a bit creepy someone wearing the skin of that on top of their own, even though I know that's
I
not
could see
sentient.
that. Yes, yes,
But
yes.
since we found the haberdashery and craft section,
We're
now
moving.
there's
Yes, we're like,
beading,
yeah,
there's looming.
we're literally crocheting our way to
Yes.
to the fashion
Okay.
world.
For this turn, I am going to now put in the king of clubs, and that will
Yes,
denote when the game ends. It
yes,
could very well be the next turn, and I have 6 cards left because we're playing a quicker game.
yes.
Um,
So
I am
you
going
have
to
to take out
put.
half, right?
I'm going to take out. I'm going to leave 4 cards, and one of them is going to be the king
Mhm.
of clubs, and I don't know where that king is.
The
All
drama.
right.
The
That is
shovel.
gorgeous. You made a bolt of fabric, Khalil.
Loving it.
Okay. So this
Everyone's
will
wearing tiger print trackies.
okay, this very well could be our last week. It has to be our last week. All right. The 10 of clubs. So you have
Yes.
at least one more turn. In preparation for the coming year, the community begins a huge undertaking. Start a project that will take at least 5 weeks to complete.
Doomed. Doomed.
A doomed project. I love it.
You can make it as ambitious as you want.
It-
Yes.
We're going to reverse engineer the. This place had electricity once. We're going to rediscover electricity and how to control it.
Mm.
We're going to
Yes.
find the fuse breakers and make them work. It's a whole.
Now that's a project of skill.
We're gonna have an industrial revolution.
A whole, because you need to find the circuitry boards.
So
That's
I'm
gonna
drawing
take a
a
while.
Yeah, the
fuse
fuse box is
box.
And then
always hard
yeah,
to find. It's always like in a really like inaccessible and
somewhere in a
counterintuitive
corner
place.
behind a other box that can't
And
be
like when you
really
read the
moved.
electricity meter and it means you need to like get low on the ground and like yeah, reach around something with a torch.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. That will take absolutely 5 weeks at least,
Yeah,
Hmm.
that
which we know
five.
we don't have.
Yeah,
Let's say 6.
I'm down for that.
because we're being doomed with six. Yes.
Okay. Discover something new. Hold a discussion. Start a project. Discover something new. We know what's going to happen as players, but all the trinkets that the other cursed plushies have been collecting, everything they collected, their giant mound, has turned to sand.
That's a
Ooh, and
discovery.
do we know what turned it into sand?
Mm-mm.
No.
They sort of just came out of crying. It's like me. All our shinies are turned to sand. Why did that happen? Should we start again? We don't know what to do. Me. So I'm just going to generously call this sand.
Yes. Looks
Okay,
like a mountain of sand.
Hmm.
that looks like cheese, a Dorito. Who knows? Okay, I
It's
have.
well, from a distance, it's hard to tell whether the trinkets have turned into sand or Dorito dust.
At least one person was. We have probably a food tester, a creative person to say like, nope, that's not Doritos. Okay, I have no idea where that king is. Mel, I'm gonna pull the top card.
Ace.
Ace.
Ah, the ace do love me.
Okay. Um, Ace is now is the time to conserve energy and resources. A project fails, but gain an abundance. Or now is the time for hurried label and final efforts. A project finishes early, but gain a scarcity. The only project is finding and fixing the fuse box.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So either that outright fails and we gain an abundance. Our previous scarcities were clothing, fresh food we fixed.
Yeah.
And a project finishes early, so the fuse box just is fixed, but we gain a scarcity. So what was an abundance becomes a scarcity.
I would say the we gain a scarcity.
Okay.
The little group of thinkers that were looking for the outside accidentally caved in around the water, and then we're now having to redig that part.
Oh, because
Okay.
it's cut off the it's cut off the
Yes,
river.
cut
Oh,
off. Yeah, so what we have is what we have now.
okay.
The river. I mean, they haven't, like, the toilets. That part is apart from the river, but the river part is now just standstill water.
Okay. So we still have resources, but now
Just
they're finite, they're
yeah,
limited. They're no
yes,
longer, we
yeah. So
took
the
for
kelp is not.
granted.
Yes, the kelps are not coming in with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have electricity, y'all. The whole place is illuminated. Ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. Wow. Okay. Um, okay, Mel, starts. I'm
Yes.
going to start rushing us a little bit
Yes.
here.
Go on.
Start discover something new, hold a
Discover
discussion, or start a
something new.
project. Okay, what is it? I'm drawing.
Um, I would say this no have a discussion about redigging the hole. We need all man because we want to make sure that river flows again for the food resource.
Okay,
And
who are you? Yes.
I'm representing the uh, engineers that made the mistake. We're
Hmm.
sorry. It was bad calculations. We're recalculating, and everything is being replanned to reopen the water main hole for the river.
Okay, Khalil, who are you representing and what is their stance?
Um, I am representing the people who maybe still the I'm representing the people who are scared of the outside world. So
Hmm.
we've learned that the outside world exists, but are scared of it, and so our position is no, now we're safe. Now we're not in danger from the outside world because we're cut off from it again. Fine, let's keep it that way.
Okay, I will represent the book beings. We this They were sentient books that communicate in all manners, and a creature that resembles a particularly thick and heavy tome comes up and manages to flip its pages in such a manner that we can deduce is like a sort of even Morse code in language, and effectively says, all stories come to an end, all books come to an end. We have found a sequel. I repeat, we have found a sequel. And they leave us with this cryptic message. All right.
Ooh.
Okay. I wonder. I'm really not seeing or looking what the heck this prompt is. That's the king. That's the king. Khalil, I would like to give you the honor of telling us how the curtain falls on our community, or what story is told about our community in a future that we are not a part of.
um, I think uh, that uh, years down the line, a different group of survivors comes across a deserted, abandoned massive toy shop, um, and it seems to be mysteriously full of loads of sand, but loads of sand.
Hmm.
As if like most of the non-biological matter in here got turned to sand somehow.
Whoa.
Um, but they can see kind of the ruined remnants of aisles and toys and plushies and clothes and even the remains of people. And through if if through studying the the remains of these people and the clues that are left behind, they start to piece together the story of a society that ended up getting cut off from the outside world, um, at a time when a threat that they didn't understand emerged. And um, it's a years long process of this new group who've discovered the place, yeah, piecing together the story of the gradual decline, um, and people saying goodbye to family members and friends and putting them to rest and coming to terms culturally with the kind of decline that comes with isolation, um, and the emergence of this new threat.
That's a beautiful ending. If I may ask, what the people who have discovered the ruins of this, what are they physiologically? Because we made a lot of heritages
Ah,
beings.
I already had something pop in my brain, but
But
it's the
Khalil
real
pulled the
ending.
card, so you
Yes,
get
so
the
you
honor
go
of ending
ahead
it
and
out.
come
I mean,
on.
my mind was going towards them being mechanical beings, but
Mm.
Mel, what's
Ooh,
your idea?
nice. I like mechanical beings. My brain was telling me some type of dragon type.
Or maybe they are mechanical beings that don't represent a normal human body plan.
Yes.
They have a more kind of like elongated body that moves on multiple limbs, um, a kind of like almost more serpentine form, but they are
Yes.
mechanical beings. Um, and so they're also kind of trying to understand just how biological beings worked.
Yeah.
Interesting. I would
Mm.
have posited that they are the descendants of the fish people who went upstream and were
They are.
tracing the ancient water lines, and one flowed
I
here, and
love
this
it.
was the origin of one of their
They
families.
are. They are fish. Like they are okay. They are giant mechanical dragonoid things
Sure.
with a little fish bowl in the
Mm.
Ah,
head that has a little fish in each one. And these are the kind of protective exoskeleton vehicles that the fish use to explore the
outer
the
world.
terrestrial world.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And this was the hatching ground of their great, 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 great,
Yeah,
great, great, great,
exactly.
great, great, great
Yes.
sires generations ago.
What have I done?
And that is the story of that one quiet year.
Yes.
Thank
I
you,
love
Val and
it. It,
Khalil,
it
for
was
telling and
awesome.
building this story. That's the
Thank you,
game.
Aida. That was so much
That was
fun.
so much fun.
Uh,
It was so out of the box thinking, and I love it. I love the ending. I love my fishes that are now in mechanical exo bodies that look like dragons. Gorgeous.
Absolutely. This has been A Quiet Year by Avery Alder. Uh, I'll make sure that links to this game, or you can go purchase and support the creator ourselves. Uh, when I go to conventions or I have family who don't play TTRPGs, I always bring like 6 to 8 A4 papers, tape one side. I bring crayons, and I always have a PDF on my phone. All you need are playing cards, and that's it. That's it. It's such an easy pickup game. You can go as dark or as light as you want. We went light. I think our world had conflict and had outside challenges, but we also had hope. We had dreams. We had creativity. And I think that is a good segue and message for the charity that we are supporting this and every other stream this weekend, Medical Aid for Palestine. There is a Tiltify bar ahead of us. This is how much we have raised. Thank you, anyone who's been able to
Yay.
support today. There's this weekend. Please make sure you, if you have the means, join the other streams, support them, chat, retweet, repost, make it known to that friend or family member that has a thicker wallet. This is a good place to give it up to. And that the TTRPG community is one that dreams of better futures, dreams of communities. We have the power to create, and we choose to create connection. We choose to create joy and life. And I think everyone in the world deserving that, particularly, especially those affected by the conflict in Palestine who are faced with disproportionate violence. That needs to stop immediately. And at the very least, they need all the services that are rendered by Medical Aid for Palestine. Thank you so much for helping us realize their goal. That really means a lot to me and by extension all the communities I represent. So I'm going to let each of us give a quick plug or final thoughts, and I'll go at the end and close this out. So, Mel, any last final words you want to say, and outro and self-promotional plugs?
Yes, I would like to thank you for inviting me to try out something I've never tried before, and I love it. And I might actually throw it out in some of my friend groups, see how they take it.
Good.
Um, I am on the socials as Art Rogue Mel, Art and Rogue for D&D, Rogue and Mel, and I do podcasting about anime and manga at Anime's Most Wanted. Look us up on all socials as Anime's Most Wanted, and I will love to be back for any of these creative endeavors because we support the people who need supporting.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you for being here, Mel.
Yes.
Khalil.
Hey, my name's Khalil Thirlaway. You can get me on socials on Twitter at Dr. Talks a Lot, Dr. Talks a Lot. Um, or if you like the sound of my voice, you can find me hosting or co-hosting the Natural History Museum's podcasts Wild Crimes and Our Broken Planet. So that's a true crime podcast about nature crimes, or a broader one exploring the messed up relationships we have with Earth and how to fix them. Um, Thank you so much for tonight. I had no idea what to expect, and this was both. Yeah, this was just such a surreal, wonderful ride. Thank you so much for all of the kind of one upping and yes anding and
I love the yes
buying into
ending.
each other's weird
Yes.
little worlds.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, I would also like to plug Science and Sorcery, which is a Twitch channel where me and some friends do science comedy, Dungeons and Dragons, chaosy storytelling, which is really fun. I would also like to plug Freeing Palestine. Free Palestine. Um, as a Palestinian British person, I really, really appreciate um, appreciate all of the kind of solidarity that I've seen from the RPG community, from online communities, and from people in general. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, both of you, for being here. Um, yes, if I see another game like this, at the very least, I'm going to share like this game exists. Go check it out.
Yes.
It's a really good introduction, especially for those who are not familiar with TTRPGs. But I think it's a special place for those that are very experienced because, oof, those are the tropes. My name is Aida. You can find me on socials as In the Pan. I am one of the co founders of a community called EUphoria, who serves to uplift and shine a light on TTRPG creatives that are based in Europe, UK, and those outside the US. We want to bring a light on diverse games that aren't exclusively D&D kind of games. We like those too, yes, but there are more games like this. The European community itself is diverse. Everyone here is based in Europe. We are all people of color. We are immigrants. We this is what Europe looks like. And we are loud and proud, and we are happy to
Yeah.
demonstrate this is what it has to look forward from here on. And we do good shit like raise money for great causes. And we get to flex creativity and hopefully inspire others and hopefully bring joy to others through those games. Thank you for supporting us in that. Thank you to everyone else who is supporting the Rolling Seaward event. Thank you to Poorna M and the other organizers for putting this together. And please continue being supportive. Here's the Tiltify. Hope links are coming into the chat for you to give what you can.
Yeah. Here's a link. You have a link.
All up
Uh,
there are the links. And with that, have a wonderful rest of your day and stay tuned for the next stream, which I'm sure is going to be great.
yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.